2011 year for growth?
2011's got to be a year for growth. We've spent the past 3 months telling ministers you've got to do more to help businesses grow, and today is the day we've had them respond. We've had the Chancellor of the Exchequer, we've had the Business Secretary, both of them here to tell us what they're going to do.
And has their response come up to muster, would you say?
Well, the rhetoric's very good. They're telling us they want to support us. They tell us they're pro-growth. But what we'll be doing over the next 9 months, the rest of 2011, is holding their feet to the fire. Because we know that sometimes politicians say something and don't deliver. We will make sure they deliver.
And what are the key messages coming from your members across the country as we go into this conference?
Well, there's 4 areas where our members constantly come to us and say they want action from the government. One is around recruitment. They want to be able to hire people, but there's too much red tape and it's too costly. We've got to have action on that. The second is around planning and premises. No manufacturer should have to stop expanding their premises simply because there's an objection 3/4 of a mile down the road. Third one is around investment. We've got to have better relationship management between the banks and the businesses that we represent. And the fourth, of course, is supporting our exporters. We all know we need to rebalance our economy, but the only way to do it is to make sure we get behind those companies that are exporting and encourage those who aren't exporting to try it out.
And talking to people at the conference here, the delegates attending, that credit, number 3, is massive. And you could actually argue that in some ways, if that isn't there, you can forget the other 3 because the people just won't be there doing the business, or not to the level they want because the credit and the finance isn't there. What's your key, making those relationships better? What are the key tools to that, you think, enhancing the flow of credit?
Well, what we need to do is to look at different ways of financing businesses. We're working very closely with some of the major banks in order to try to do that, to look at new forms of equity finance for small and medium-sized businesses, and also to unblock debt financing where it's become difficult to get. So what we want to see is an empowered local bank manager who again can look at a business and say, common sense tells me I want to lend money to this business and I think it's a good bet. We want to see that empowered bank manager come back to the fore rather than have a system where the computer says no and the business is left looking elsewhere to try to meet its financing needs.
Finally, on the basis of the messages government's coming and told you here today, the messages you've been telling government for the last 3 months, where we're looking at sort of D-Day, judgment time, when will you be going back to the government with the big stick, as it were, and saying you haven't delivered? How long have they got?
Well, the government is under pressure from us at the BCC every single day. We scrutinise all of the decisions that are made and their impact on business. We will continue to do that, and we will go back to them later this year and say, look, you said you were setting out a plan for growth. Here's where we think it's worked. Here's where we think it hasn't, and this is what we would do to change it. They know we're on their case. They know we will continue to be on their case, and we will do everything we can to support small and medium-sized businesses, indeed all sizes of business across the UK.
This sort of conference doesn't happen alone. Sponsorship's really important.
Absolutely right. We're very lucky at the BCC to be partnered up with some great companies who've supported us today. Everyone from the Royal Bank of Scotland and NatWest, who provide business finance to many chamber members, to Dell, to BT, and also to Euler Hermes, who provide trade credit insurance. All of these companies have been very supportive of our campaign to make 2011 a year for growth, and we will continue to work with them to make sure that they have solutions for small businesses.